Hello, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we have a very special video with a very special guest. We have none other than Jackson McVey. Jackson McVey, how are you doing, man? Thank you so much for coming on.
Doing great. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, do it anytime. So, we got a little interview. This is the first interview of the channel. I'm very excited. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Starting out with number one. Why do they call you the Moose? Where did that come from?
Yeah, good question. So the moose comes from, it's a couple different things, but my mom would always refer to me and my brother. We're both big dudes. He's 6'4", 240. I'm 6'4", like walking 220. So yeah, she said I raised mooses. So like she like I gave birth to mooses basically. So moose just kind of stuck for a while. It's kind of what they've always referred to me as, moose. And from there it's just a nickname that I've kind of grown into. Like when I was a kid, it was a little tough, but now I think that I'm starting to really grow into that nickname for sure. So it comes from my mom.
100%. So, you said you're 220? You're 220 cutting down a middleweight?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Oh my
walking around
gosh.
220. Yeah,
What is your
yeah.
in-camp weight?
In camp, I mean, I like to be, I like to show up to fight week like 205, something like that. So yeah, just kind of dieting down and stuff like that. But yeah, it's actually a lot easier than people think it is. But yeah, you just got to be disciplined. That's the main thing, is discipline.
So you're cutting like 20 pounds. That's like within the last 3 days, basically. Like you're water loading, and then you'll kind of cut down a couple days before
Yeah.
the weigh-ins.
Well, and the water loading helps a lot because, obviously, like, you're not eating nearly as much as you normally are. And then, with the water loading, you're just flushing out all those electrolytes, all those salts, everything like that, to where, I mean, it just kind of works out. And I dropped the weight fairly easily. So yeah, I cut, about 20 pounds in about 3 days, but yeah.
It's got to be brutal. But I mean, I feel
Yeah.
like everybody's doing that now. Like that's just a standard. If you're not cutting 15 plus, you're probably not going to be doing as
You're a
well.
little, yeah, you're a little outsized. Yeah, there were a couple times like early in my career where I was like, I was walking in fight week like 195, fight week, and like, yeah, that's too light, and I was just so depleted, and I was just so worried about not making the weight. But there's a real science to it, and the UFC is really taking good care of me in that respect. So yeah,
Perfect. Love to hear that. So you were from
yeah,
St. Paul, Minnesota, am I correct?
yes, sir. Yeah, yeah.
Fellow Midwest guy myself. I'm a Michigan guy. So shout
Hey,
out to
I'm sorry
you.
about those Pistons.
Yeah, dude, that was very rough to see. I was at Buffalo
I'm
Wild Wings with a
sorry.
friend of mine. That was it's not so good. I picked them to win in six. I figured that we would maybe make the conference finals and lose in six to New York, but we got a little bit of an early exit. Our center didn't really play well. He played himself out of a max contract, but that's a different conversation. So
Yeah,
tell me
right.
about growing up in Minnesota, man. How did that go? You're born and
Yeah, I
raised in
mean, it
St. Paul?
was like it was oh shit. Yeah, sorry about that.
It's all good.
The honestly, like growing up there, it was good, just kind of like Midwest living, like it was just kind of simple, it was good. I grew up in a nicer neighborhood too. Like I'm not one of those dudes that has like oh, I grew up on the mean streets of this place and man, my life. So I'm not like a Diaz brother. I wish I was, but I'm not a Diaz
Yes.
brother. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it is what it is. I had a really good family life growing up, just a great time. And everybody in Minnesota is so nice too. That is one thing that, everyone's like, is it true? Is everyone really nice there? Yeah. Like, especially moving from Minnesota, then I moved to St. Louis, and now I'm in Phoenix. Not to say that those people aren't nice, but Minnesota is definitely much more. It's a Midwest, like northern Midwest thing. I
100%.
think you might understand as well. It's just
Mm-hmm.
people are a lot friendlier there.
100%. So yeah, that actually goes into my next question. So you move at 21 to St. Charles, Missouri, correct?
Yes,
And
yes,
what was that
sir.
for?
I moved there to train at the gym called St. Charles MMA. There was a fight team. They were kind of connected with my first gym. They're like a Hicks and Gracie affiliate. So I moved there. I did like a couple like kind of training camps out there, and I just loved it. So I wanted to move there. And like they kind of rounded out my game. I was really mainly a jujitsu guy for the most part. Especially starting out, I was really just mainly a jiu-jitsu guy. Didn't have very good wrestling either. So it was good for me to move out to a gym like that, kind of more hard nosed and do that kind of good stuff. So yeah.
I see. So when did you start training, and what was the first discipline that you did?
Yeah, so I started training back in, gosh, I think it might have been 2012, maybe 2013. So I've been doing this for a little bit. I think like 13, 14 years, something like that.
Mhm.
And it was mainly jujitsu. Just started out doing jujitsu. At first, it was kind of like a thing with my mom, especially. My dad was, he didn't really care, but my mom, her big thing was, Jackson, you're not going to be getting in there and fighting anybody in a cage, will you? And I'm like, oh no, mom, it's just jujitsu. I would never want to do that kind of stuff. Meanwhile, I'm trying to work my way up, and just it was a slow process. You know what I mean? You got to get your
Exactly.
mom on board with it. So yeah.
I see. Let me see. So, why did you go from St. Charles to the MMA Lab? How did that come from?
Yeah, so I think and this is nothing to nothing bad about St. Charles. It just I think that one of the biggest things is I did my fight camp at the MMA Lab for my Zach Reese fight. So I was originally supposed to fight Robert Valentin, and then Zach Reese obviously stepped up short notice. So then I did my camp there, and it was just a very organized and regimented team that had a really really good fight team on there. Obviously, guys like Eric McConico, Jared Cannonier. We've got Alec Lorenz, who's got his Dana White Contender Series coming up, and I just think that it's kind of like the analogy that I like to use is St. Charles MMA was like my college team. That's where I made my name for myself in college, and now we're going to the pros. Like that's like the pro level. You have to go to a bigger gym like the Lab, Killcliff, ATT, something like that. So I went there, and honestly, man, it fit like a glove. I felt so welcomed by everybody there, and Crouch is just such a mastermind of the sport, and just it's been a really great transition.
St. Charles MMA was kind of like a stepping stone to your eventual pro career, and then when you're in the UFC, you settle into a bigger gym. You mix in with the bigger guys, like you've got Jared Cannonier, like you said, McConico. Got a lot of guys your size there.
Right.
I
Yeah,
see.
yeah. That was yeah, and like I said, nothing like bad to say towards St. Charles or anything. They helped me out quite a bit. Huge shout out to guys like Jake Roberts, Mike Rogers. Those guys have helped me out a tremendous amount. It's just like I said, it's the college versus pro level.
Mm.
It's a difference.
Just the necessary stepping stone, basically.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Mm. So coming into your UFC debut, so you win a fight in LFA on June 13th. You then get a
Yep.
call to make your UFC debut a month later against very tough opponent in Bruno Ferreira. Walk me through how that goes. Like, who calls you? What do they offer you? How does that work, really? I've always wondered that myself.
Right. Yeah. So actually, this is kind of crazy. So I was originally supposed to fight International Fight Week against Cedricus Dumas. That was supposed to be my UFC debut. And then he couldn't make it to the fight because he had an ankle monitor issue. I'm not joking. And then so then from there they found this guy, Chris Ewert or Ewert. I don't know how to
Mm.
pronounce his last name, but he was supposed to fight me. And then he came in 10 pounds over. The UFC scrapped the fight. And man, dude, subject for a different time, but dude, my comment section after the fight fell through was insane.
I
A
bet.
lot of haters, bro.
Mm.
But anyway, and then after a little bit, I spoke with Mick Maynard at weigh-ins, because weigh-ins is when I found out that the fight wasn't happening. I was already on weight and everything, and my manager called me up and said, "Hey, the fight's not happening. I'm really sorry." Blah blah blah. And then I spoke with Mick, and Mick said that, "Hey, we'll get you on, something real soon." So they got me on that New Orleans card. Obviously, Bruno's a seriously tough opponent. Really, honestly, just kind of that was one of the most disappointing performances I think of my career, but got me in the UFC.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, when I got the call to the UFC. Sorry to answer your question a little long winded,
No,
but
totally fine.
um, when I got the call, my manager called me up and said, "Hey, man, it looks like you're getting a call up here. Keep your weight ready, and I'll have news soon." And then I guess Mick Maynard called him like as he was talking to me. So then he left, and we started talking, or then they started talking, and then that's when he told me like, "Hey, they got Cedricus Dumas." Obviously, that didn't happen, but
Mm.
yeah, that was kind of how it went, and super big, celebration for me. I was super excited, and called my mom, called my brother, all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, it was fun.
Sure. So, of course, obviously, the first two fights didn't go your way. How would you
Yeah.
say that those two fights affected you mentally going into the Cedricus Dumas fight? Because a lot of guys will take a loss or two and then they'll be completely mentally out of it. They're not the same fighter that they are. So how did you reconcile with
Mm.
that?
Yeah, so obviously, disappointed. Nobody wants to start the career 0-2. Everyone thinks you suck at this point. And it was one of those things where I knew and I know what I'm capable of. And I know that I can perform at a much higher level. And honestly, I owe a big deal of that to John Crouch talking with me and really working with me on, Jackson, I see a lot of potential with you. I see that you can be a mainstay in this division. You can be a ranked guy. It's just about, getting your mind right. There were times in fights where, I think that I started to doubt myself. I think a lot of fighters go through that. And it was kind of more about, he really hammered into me this saying, he just kept looking at me and would point and he would say, you're unbreakable. You're unbreakable. No matter what happens in the fight, you're unbreakable. You have to think about, in that respect. And so I just was really working on that, really working on just, no matter what happens, whether I'm knocked down, nearly knocked out, and this guy's got a locked in rear naked choke on me, and I'm going to fight out of it, and I'm still going to win this fight. That's kind of the mindset shift that happened. I also think that there was a bit of a learning curve when I entered the UFC with. Obviously this is the highest level of guys now. This is the NFL, this is the NHL, whatever you want to call it. And I was fighting regional guys to tougher regional guys, but this is a huge step up in competition. So I had to kind of realize I have to do that and just kind of raise myself and believe that I could do that as well, if that makes sense.
Like you're super young, like you're 27. All the
Mm,
top guys in your division are 32, 33, 34. So
yeah.
that's also got to be another tough aspect to it. And I don't think a lot of people understand how important it is to have whether a head coach, a mentor, a boss that really believes in you. Like people don't
Yes.
understand how important that is. So if you don't have that, I would say seek that out in any way you can because I think it truly does wonders for people.
Yeah, yeah. I couldn't agree more. It's not only obviously belief in yourself is most important, right? And I remember actually after the Zach Reese fight, my old coach Jake Roberts, he looked at me and he goes, sometimes like when I lost, he's like, you're fighting like you have no faith in yourself, and I pride myself on having a very strong faith in God and things like that, and he said you have way too much faith to not believe in yourself. You have way too much faith. So that was also kind of a learning curve. Just something clicked there when he said that to me, where it's like, okay, yeah, I do belong here. I can do this. Obviously disappointing, but that first round was a hell of a first round
It
with Zach
was.
Reese, right?
Yes, it was, 100%.
Yeah.
So I guess
So
on a happier note, what was
yeah.
the first thought that enters your mind the second that you finished Cedricus Dumas?
Oh my gosh. I mean, there was just a huge relief lifted off of my shoulders. I mean, it was one of those things where, obviously you're fighting for your job, 0-2. They don't keep guys who are 0-3 in the UFC for too long. And if you are 0-3 in the UFC, they're not giving you a reasonable matchup. They're giving you one where it's like, aha, get this guy out of here,
They're
right?
building your
So
name for they're building someone else's name
exactly.
off of you, rather.
Exactly. And
Mhm.
I think that there was just a huge, huge relief with that. And also just kind of it was obviously a celebration. It's like I did everything that I was supposed to do. I checked every box, dotted every I, crossed every T, and I did it. That I think that it was that, but a bigger part of it is a huge relief.
100%. And
Yeah.
how sweet was it when you found out you got performance of the night as well?
Oh my God, dude. So like,
Yeah.
yeah, we like the whole team, the lab, me, Eric, Crouch, and Rob Emerson, and this guy by the name of Ryan Diaz, my buddy Lue. We were all sitting in the hotel room eating pizza afterwards
Oh
because
yeah.
that's what you do. That's what you do.
Of course.
But
12 weeks of eating clean.
right, exactly. You gotta get some za. You know what I
Hell
mean?
yeah.
But yeah, but the when we saw that all of the fights were going to decision after my fight, and then obviously Ryan Spann locked that up with that nasty KO. It's like, okay,
Hmm.
he's getting a bonus. The
For sure.
question is, are they going to give it to like Aljo and Yusuf, just because it was a tough fight or whatever. I don't know. I was like, I don't know what's going to happen. I had no expectations. But then my manager texted me and was like, "You got the bonus, man." So yeah, that was a huge deal. Again, called my fiance up, called my family up. They were all, just everyone was so excited. So yeah, I was pretty stoked.
I bet, for sure.
Yeah.
What would you say is your favorite part of training camp?
Man, that is a really good question. I think it's kind of the idea of, when you train, there's, if you're just training, just out of camp, there is not as much of a purpose. I think the amount of purposeful training, like, okay, there's a date and there's a time and everything where you're going to have to do this, right? Like, this is where you're going to use all of these things and put everything together. I also just love the grind of it, man. A lot of guys, they say they hate the grind of fight camp, but I think that the grind of it all is another thing I just really enjoy about it.
What is the nastiest injury that you've ever suffered in training?
Great question. I actually, this happened to me somewhat recently, dislocated my finger.
Ooh, which one?
Yeah. My pinky.
Oh, God,
so
that's the worst.
the weakest one, right? But yeah, it was during wrestling. The guy Granby rolled, and during that Granby roll, freaking just planted on the mat weird or something. But yeah, it popped out, and I'm like, oh God. And I my initial reaction when I get hurt is I like stand up and I just start walking around like, okay, let's see if I can just walk this off, whatever. And I look down and I'm like, oh no, that's fucked up.
No.
Nope. We're gonna have to pop this back in. So
did you try to pop it back in immediately like Kobe did, or no? Did you have to go to the hospital after that?
no, I didn't. So what I did was I walked over to Crouch because I didn't really know what to do, honestly. And I've heard so many horror stories, like Prohaska, right, with his shoulder.
Oh yeah.
Where if you try to pop it back in, you might mess it up worse. So I'm like, I don't want to do it because I'm gonna mess it up worse. I know myself. And Crouch was like, well, let's ice it. Let's just kind of give it some time and then we'll try. So I'm like, okay. And as I'm sitting there, this guy by the name of Mike De La Torre, he's actually a former UFC fighter, coach at the lab. He walked over and was like, oh, what's going on? And I show him my finger and he's just like, let me see that real quick, and just popped it right back in then and there. So shout out to DLT. Love that guy.
Oh yeah. He probably had that happen to him like 3 times.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Big time. I asked him that too. And he's like, oh yeah, all the time, man. All the time. So yeah.
Definitely the benefits of being surrounded by guys that have a ton of experience.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Do you have any like recurring thoughts every time you walk to the octagon and you're getting patted down, like right before you step into the cage?
Man, when I walk to the octagon, I don't have much going through my head, honestly. Like, there's really no thoughts going through my head. I know it's kind of weird to say, but like, yeah, there's really nothing. It's just kind of more like the job. All right, here we go. Let's do this. In the back, it's always the same feeling when I get my hands wrapped. I don't know what it is, but when I get my hands wrapped, I feel like I'm getting onto a roller coaster. I get that same, like those butterflies and everything. I feel like this is me. Like when you get that roller coaster, they lock you in there. It's like, all right, here we go. This is where we're going.
Off, so.
Right. Exactly.
Yes.
I'm not taking them off. If whatever, I'm not taking them off. So.
Can you hear that thunder or no?
No.
Oh my God, it's like storming crazy. I don't know if the mic picked it up. I apologize.
No, you're good, man.
Oh my gosh,
it's fun.
It rains pretty hard in Florida. My gosh.
Right.
Yeah. But back to that question. That's kind of surprising because I've heard a lot of fighters say that they think of themselves dying every time they walk into it, and they've accepted that they could die or they could kill somebody else. So that's kind of interesting to hear. Just not really any thoughts.
Yeah, just kind of like I'm I try not to overthink too much with that kind of stuff. And I know that's kind of hard to do, obviously. And I've really worked on just not overthinking that aspect. It's like, we're going to go in there, we're going to compete. Like, maybe it's like, let's have some fun, shit like that. But, I'm going there to compete. I'm going to put my best foot forward, and I'm going to try to rip his head off the same way he's going to try to rip mine off. So, let the best man win. That's kind of how I'm thinking.
Would you say some of the absence of thought would come from you being so dialed in the training camp and so confident that you put in and gave it your all?
I would say so. Yeah. Yeah, I would say so. I think that it's just kind of like, all right, here we go. This is what you've been working for the past 2-3 months. Let's do it.
Oh yeah. What was the first ever MMA fight that you watched? If you can even recall that.
Oh man. Okay. I got into it at with like UFC 100 time. That's around the time that I really started to get into the sport was UFC 100. So the one that I can remember the most is Lesnar and Frank Mir.
Oh yeah.
That was the one that I remember. Brock Lesnar, Minnesota hero, right? Golden
Hmm.
Gopher and everything. So watching that guy, defend his title and just beat the crap out of Frank Mir. Big Frank Mir fan, by the way. I like Frank Mir.
Oh yeah.
But seeing that dude do that and like the post fight interview, how iconic. I mean, I that was when I was like, okay, I love this sport. I think this is amazing.
So is that when you realized that you wanted to get into training, or did you get into training later on?
I got it. The thing that got me really into training actually is kind of funny enough. The thing that made me kind of like jump over the edge. So I was really into the UFC video game, and Carlos Condit was my favorite fighter to use, like to play as and stuff. And
Hmm.
started watching more and paying attention to his career more. And I saw that he had a fight coming up with Nick Diaz. Again, I would casually watch for a while, but once he had the fight with Nick Diaz, and Nick was another like really fascinating. He's such a fascinating personality in MMA.
For sure.
I think that he's one of the most interesting people. He doesn't like to talk to the media, which kills me because I'm such a big fan. But
Hmm.
um, I think that when I watched their UFC Prime Time special, if you ever watch that, like, and I watch it actually before all my fights to kind of get me amped up and excited, is the UFC Prime Time for UFC 143, Condit versus Diaz for that
Yeah.
interim title. That was around the time where I'm like, okay, you know what, like I'm gonna actually do this now. Let's do it.
Yes. So when did you realize that you wanted to become a fighter full time, and when you thought this is what I'm made to do?
Yeah, I think that was kind of after like jujitsu, after like training jujitsu for a while, and you know I liked jujitsu competitions, but it just felt kind of incomplete. I would always think about, if guys were, pulling guard or doing all these kind of weird, fancy like leg entanglements or whatever. I would always think about like, well, he could get punched in the face here, or this could happen, or like, somebody could drop an elbow here. It's kind of I look at jujitsu as almost like incomplete sometimes without striking involved. That to
Exactly.
me is the purest form of jujitsu is MMA.
100%.
So
Let me see. So I know that you're very early into your career, so I don't want to just think about the end, but
right.
most UFC fighters, are not fighting for 20 fights and they're multimillionaires afterwards. Most fighters, they'll have a nice few-year career and then afterwards they'll
Mm,
do something else. So have you put any thought into what you want to do post-career? What career you want to do? What,
right.
maybe investments?
Yeah, I obviously with the $100,000, I want to invest that wisely. So I'm really starting to kind of get into that. I'm talking with like financial advisors, kind of seeing,
Right.
all that kind of stuff. I'm investing in a Roth IRA, things like that for just again like future investments. Because I spoke with Cub Swanson actually after the fight, and he
Hmm.
was talking to me about how he's one of the only fighters that he's ever known that actually has a retirement plan. Him and Dustin Poirier are the only two that he knows of that have real legitimate retirement plans.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Wow.
I mean, according to Cub Swanson, I don't know, but yeah, I mean, it was kind of interesting to be like, you know what, like I put a lot of work into the sport already. I have a lot of miles on me already. Um, I want to be able to have like something to show for it,
For
So
sure, yeah.
looking at those things, but I think for like a job, I would love to do something with MMA, whether that's coaching, whether that's, honestly, what I'd love to do is commentate. I'd love to be a
100%.
commentator for MMA. I think that's one of the best jobs you could ever get in MMA is to be a commentator.
I actually think you would be good at that because number
Well,
one,
thank
you're
you.
you're a very good speaker. But number two, when you broke down your finish against Adrikas Dumas in that little like 15-second thing, that was kind of just something that I picked up. Like this guy, just the way he broke that down was pretty like intricate. I like that. And then also
Thank you.
you do the F3 technique of the week as well. So I can see that in your future endeavors for sure.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I commentated for a few of my my manager's fight promotion. Like I commentated for a couple fights on there,
Oh yeah.
or not fights, but a couple cards. And that was a lot of fun. Like, I absolutely loved it. Like, interviewing, it was fun to be on the other side of, like, because when fighters go to weigh-ins, they have to talk with the commentators and say, this is my game plan. This is like my pedigree. This is what I want to do, stuff like that. And, being on the other side of that and just kind of writing down fighters' answers and seeing how differently people think and people like approach the sport is just like, some guys are very serious and very like, whatever. And then other guys are super happy-go-lucky, very goofy individuals, even after they just did a face-off or something. It's really interesting. So yeah, I love the sport.
Yeah, it is cool how many different personalities are a part of this sport. Because you would think that it's just the meathead tough guys, but honestly, it's not. You guys like Peyton Talbot. You guys that are just funny, that don't take it as serious, and I can
Oh
really
yeah.
see that. I like to see that it's getting past and it's getting into the mainstream.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how I feel too. Is all that, I think that's what makes MMA so great, is the fact that we have so many fun and cool personalities.
100%. What
Yeah.
would you say are your passions besides fighting?
Oh man, great question. For passions, I mean, obviously, besides fighting, I don't know if people know this. I play Dungeons and Dragons.
Really?
I play Dungeons and Dragons, dude, and I freaking love it. I love Dungeons and
That
Dragons. I
doesn't
got
surprise
into
me. I
it.
don't know why.
Yeah, it's probably the
I don't mean
hair
any
or
offense to that.
something.
That doesn't
No,
surprise me.
no, no.
You seem like someone that would enjoy that.
Yeah, no, I know, no offense taken.
Mhm.
No, but I absolutely love Dungeons and Dragons. So that's one thing that like really gets me excited throughout the week or whenever my group. Sometimes getting schedules all lined up is like herding cats, but doing that is a ton of fun. I absolutely love Dungeons and Dragons. I'm a big like movie guy, and I love TV shows too. Like I'm a big fan of your Sopranos
Yes.
page,
Well, I
dude.
actually
Like,
wanted to talk
huge
about
shout
that.
out.
Thank you, man. I wanted to talk about that because the first time that you followed me on my Sopranos account, and I just thought that was
Yes.
funny because I've been doing my MMA videos for like a year plus, and at that time I had just made that Sopranos account like 2 weeks ago. So then I saw this, and I was like, bro, wait, really? Does this guy even know I make MMA videos? So then I followed you on the other one, and then I think you actually fought the next week as well. And I
Yeah.
saw you, and also I do want to say thank you. You were like my most loyal fan, bro. You like
Thank
every
you.
single one of my posts on both accounts, dude. Shout out to you, man. It
Bro,
means a lot.
honestly, I gotta be honest. Like, and I'm not, I your takes on on MMA and on The Sopranos, so well thought out, dude. Like, everything's so well thought out. Like, everything's very structured, and you back it up with evidence. That's the things that I love about it. And yeah, of course, I'm gonna follow a dude that like you're spitting facts, man. Why would I not
Oh
follow
yeah.
you?
Bro, much appreciated. That's like one
Of
thing that I want
course.
to be known for. Just someone that speaks the truth. I don't like rage baiting people. Like so many people make rage bait content
Hmm.
and you just try to give views. I'm not really into that. I will gladly voice an unpopular opinion, but bro, again, thank you so much for being like one of my
Not
biggest
a
fans,
problem.
honestly. Jeez.
Of course. Yeah, of course, man.
100%. So I have two like not really personal questions, but a little bit. So number one,
Sure.
you got the big wedding coming up. So where
Yeah.
did you meet your soon to be wife, your fiance?
You know, this is going to be, interesting. A lot of people are meeting each other these days, but we met on Hinge, the dating apps. That's where we
Really?
met each other. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I
It's not like
respect
a
it, dude.
yeah, no,
I
but
respect
it's
it.
not like the romantic story where it's like, oh, my friend was friends with his, but like, it's nothing like that. It's a very like, I saw her on Hinge. I thought she was pretty. So I swiped up on a prompt, and, the rest is history, man.
Did you leave a like or did you like respond to a prompt?
I responded to a prompt, actually. I remember the prompt too. It
I was
was
gonna
like,
ask, yeah.
it was, what scares you? What's an odd thing that freaks you out or scares you or something like that? And she said the long legged spider things in my parents' garage. And so
Hmm.
I swiped up and I was like, huh? Like, it just literally HUH, two question marks. That was my response.
Hmm.
And according to her, she was actually considering deleting the app and not even responding to me on Hinge. But she decided to do it. So there must have been something about me. But
Oh yeah.
I look back on, like my Hinge profile, and I don't have any like really nice pictures of myself smiling or looking pleasant or well dressed. They were all fight pictures. All of them were fight pictures. So the fact that she like, even agreed to go on a date with me, I'm amazed. But yeah, the rest is history, man. After that prompt,
The typical, I mean, love story, but shit, it worked. So there you go.
it worked. Yeah,
You
exactly.
are it's 19th. You're 11 days away from the wedding, correct?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
the 30th is when we tie the knot, if you will. So
Mm.
yeah,
Like, are you
yeah.
having a massive wedding? Or you just having a small little get together?
It's a bigger wedding. I think there's going to be like 170 people, like close to 200. So pretty big wedding. Her family is like massive. Her dad is one of 9 siblings. She has like 8 aunts and uncles, which
Jeez.
is insane to think about. And then I got a bigger family. I think I've got my dad's one of 5. Then my mom is one of 3. So not nearly as big as the Kraus clan over there. That's her last name is Kraus, but not nearly as big as her side. But yeah, so it should be a good time. I'm excited.
Oh yeah, I bet. I wish you the
Yeah,
absolute best of luck.
thank you, sir.
Of course, what is a time that you had to turn to your faith in your MMA career?
Man, what a great yeah. I mean, so I think that it was honestly after the Zach Reese fight. I really thought after that Bruno fight, I'm like, okay, that was just a fluke. Like, whatever, we're gonna get this. We're gonna get this next win. And it was one of those things where like I truly, truly, truly believed that I was gonna get that win. And I had him hurt and everything. And I thought like, wow, like here we go. I'm gonna get my first UFC win. And then it just got snatched from me, right? And
Mhm.
I that from there, it really made me question, so many things about myself and about my career and things like that. But I, spoke with my pastor. I prayed a lot, and it was just kind of like, Lord, if you want me to do something differently, please like make it known. And so after talking with my pastor, who was like, no, man, like you got to keep going with this. Like it's not about, I was never going to quit. That was never going to be the option. But like, just keep the faith, keep training. It's just you're doing what you need to do. It's just about moving forward. And I think that was the biggest thing, is just kind of being like, all right, God, like I'm putting this in your hands. You're gonna lead me wherever you want, and we're gonna just let the chips fall where they may. And here we are.
Get all the pressure off your shoulders and you just put it into the Lord's hands.
Yes, exactly. That's one of the biggest things that I mean, you read that a lot in the Bible. I'm not sure if you read the Bible a lot or anything, but you see that a lot with guys who try to take on problems that are much bigger than themselves, and it's like you need God in that situation. And that's what I need. I need God in my life.
God bless. There you go.
Yeah,
And I know we just talked about your wedding, so I know you're not really thinking about your next fight, but do you have
right.
a specific card that you want to be on? Are you wanting to get on the, I don't know, the MSG, the Philly card? I don't know, just, do you have a random card that you want to
Oh.
get on, or are you just, putting that on the back burner?
Anytime in August. I'd love in August or like early September. I would love an August fight though. I would absolutely love that. But honest again, it's like I'm training. Like right after that Dumas fight, I got right back into training the next day. You know what I mean? It wasn't like me taking a week off, eating like shit and whatever. I'm on I'm back on it. You know what I mean?
Nice.
I'm serious about this, you know?
Cool, yeah, I could tell, 100%.
Yeah.
So now I got some rapid fire questions.
Hell yeah, let's
Don't
do it.
don't take too much thought about it. Like you should know these pretty off the top of your head.
Sure.
Favorite out of camp meal?
Oh, Chipotle, dude. I get the double wrap burrito. Do you want to
Yeah.
know what they order or not?
No, yeah, I'll take the order for sure.
Okay, all right,
I don't know
perfect.
if you
Double
want to
wrap
gatekeep that or
burrito.
no, but yeah,
No, people review it. You can review it too.
I
Hey,
will. Hey,
yeah, do
that's a
do
good video idea. I like that.
yeah, do the review.
Yes.
Double wrapped burrito, white rice, both black and pinto beans,
Hmm.
double steak. Then I go and I'm a basic dude with the condiments, but I get corn. And then I say a lot of sour cream because I'm a white boy from Minnesota, and a lot of cheese because I'm a white boy from
Oh
Minnesota.
yeah.
They wrap that bitch up, dude. It's my favorite all
Beautiful.
time, dude. Yeah,
Beautiful. I'm gonna do a video about that now. That's a great idea.
hell yeah, dude.
Yes. Favorite fighter of all time?
Carlos Condit,
Boom. What is your favorite fight of all time? Not of yours, but your
Fav-
favorite fight, if you have one.
brother.
Actually,
I
no.
mean,
Favorite fight of all time of somebody else and of yours.
okay, and of mine.
Hmm.
All right, so I think Favorite fight of all time. I know it's a basic answer, but you got to go with Rory and Robbie Lawler. Rory and Robbie Lawler 2, the title fight. Just what an amazing fight. And then for me, I think my favorite fight, it was an amateur fight against this guy by the name of DeMarcus Griffin. And went in there, and dude, this guy was like, he was strong, he was athletic. He flash KO'd me at the end of the round, and I was like completely dazed. I don't remember any of that, like in between rounds or anything like that. Second round is looking rough. He's on top of me, and I'm in guard, and I grab his wrist, and I'm like, there's no way that this is going to work, because I'm going for a triangle. I'm like, I'm just going to triangle him. Like, there's no way this is going to work. Let's try it. Boom, shove the hand through, lock it up, I hook behind his leg, and he goes out cold. Choked him out in front of his hometown and everything.
Oh my god!
And I think it proved a lot to myself. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I got that dog in me. I'm never out of the fight, and yeah.
Is this on YouTube or no? Because
it is.
Some of your amateurs on there. I know you went, I believe, 6-1 in amateurs, right?
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And sorry, I don't mean to talk about your losses. That one loss was against Wes Schultz. Do you want to get that back or no?
Yeah, sure. Why not? I'm cool with Wes. I'm actually like good friends with his coach, Jake Clip. Oh, wow. And I actually really like all the guys over at Pura Vida, but yeah, whatever. It's the fight business. We're not a part of the same camp, whatever. But I think, that could be the next fight. Who knows? Yeah, right. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I also really enjoy, my last UFC fight too. That was another big one. But yeah, the DeMarcus Griffin fight. Yeah, if you look up Jackson McVey versus DeMarcus Griffin, I apologize. I was holding on to this dude for dear life half the time in a body lock. So I'm like, dude, this guy's so strong. I gotta wear this dude out. But yeah, he hit hard.
There you go. I'm gonna look at that fight afterwards. Favorite non-combat athlete?
Oh, Brady Tkachuk.
That is hockey, right?
Yes, sir.
See,
Brady
I just
Tkachuk.
started to get into hockey like a couple months ago. I went to a couple Tampa Bay Lightning games, games against Montreal.
Dude, you went to a playoff game?
Well, yeah, 2. I went to game 2 and 5.
Lucky, man. That's cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a big Minnesota Wild fan, obviously. But if I had to do like another one, it would be Anthony Edwards.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
I guess that answered my question. I was going to ask what your favorite team is.
Minnesota Wild, I would say. Yeah, Minnesota Wild. Obviously love the Vikings, Timberwolves. It'd probably go, okay, if we had to do a ranking, it goes Wild, Timberwolves, Vikings.
Are you a big sports fan outside of hockey?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm watching everything.
Nice. Next question. Favorite actor?
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale, great choice. Favorite movie of his?
The Dark Knight.
Great.
Basic, but the best, man.
That's a great choice, 100%.
Yeah.
Let's see. Favorite artist and or band?
Oh, brother. Man, that's a good question. I think just go with your gut. Ozzy Osbourne.
Dude,
Ozzy Osbourne.
Rest in peace. Yeah. Love Ozzy, man.
Yeah.
Love Sabbath.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. A little bit of a detour. Who do you smoke in training every single day? Like, who are you just working in the cage?
Shit, I'm the one getting worked, man.
Really? Is that one guy that you're whooping up on every time?
I don't want to name drop. I don't know. An awesome question.
Yeah.
Just to give him a hard time, Jared Cannonier.
There you go.
Jared Cannonier.
Yes. Next question. KO or submission? What is your favorite?
Oh, great question. Probably a KO. It's more fucking primal, bro.
Like a straight, like out cold KO, or are you like working somebody on the ground and then finishing them and then having the ref step in?
See, I always do the working them over on the ground. I don't usually do the big KOs, but man, I'd love like a good like just elbow right across the face to just crumple. You know what I mean?
Like a Yuri spinning elbow over Dominic Reyes.
Yeah, bro. Or like what about Matt Brown and Diego Sanchez?
Yes,
like that kind of shit.
There was a nickname. He had like a nickname for those elbows. I don't remember what they were called. I was calling it something. I don't remember. I'll figure it out afterwards.
Yeah.
Who wins International Fight Week, Conor or Max?
Max.
100%. Let's see. Favorite or dream vacation spot?
Oh, shit. Thailand.
Yeah.
Thailand. Yeah.
There you go. Dream.
Yeah, for sure.
Honeymoon spot. Maybe the same answer.
Dream honeymoon spot. Probably like, I don't know,
I could cut this
Scotland.
out of the video as well if you're like surprising your wife with a
No,
nice grand
nope,
trip.
nope. You don't have to worry about it. Scotland.
Let's see, Scotland. You said?
Yeah,
Are you
Scotland.
Scottish?
I am.
I see. Figured that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Favorite movie of all time?
Oh, The Big Lebowski.
Big Lebowski. I've actually never seen that. I've seen so many like
Oh,
stoner flicks. I've seen so many
brother.
stoner flicks, like movies like that, and I've just never seen that somehow. I don't know why.
Oh, that's my favorite movie of all time, dude.
Really?
Favorite movie of all time. Yeah,
That's like, is that 91 that came out? If you
I think
remember?
so. Yeah, I think it was like 91. Yeah, before I was born, but yeah, that's my favorite movie.
Let's see. First car and dream car.
First car was a Ford Freestyle. Nice little
Wow, there you go.
SUV. And that thing, but like the first one that like I bought was a Toyota Prius.
Interesting. I don't see
Red
any Prius,
Toyota.
dude.
Yeah, no, I drove a red Toyota Prius for a long time till the wheels came off, baby.
What year?
And I had to get a new one. I'm driving a Volkswagen Jetta now, but my dream car, and you know, my fiance was giving me a hard time about it. But Toyota 4Runner would be my dream
Dude,
car.
4Runner's a badass.
Right?
Yeah, I like
Right?
100%.
Right?
Black on black 4Runner
Yeah.
or white on black 4Runner? 100%. Take that into the mountains because you're in Arizona.
Yes,
So
bro.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can take that. No, 100%. You got plenty of places you can take that.
Yes.
Let's see. One niche interest / hobby.
I mean, Dungeons and Dragons would certainly count. I would say, yeah, Dungeons and Dragons.
For sure. See,
Yeah.
hidden talent.
I mean, obviously, I can do impressions. Can do like some pretty good
You have the
impressions
Irish
too.
accent, the little Irish impression. I saw that.
Have you heard my Donald Trump yet?
I'm
Vince, it's so great to be here. Wow. What a tremendous show you have here. I'm so honored to be here. This is so tremendous. It's really quite great. Vince, you're such a great man, wonderful man. I can't thank you enough.
That's fucking amazing.
Yeah, I can also do like Kermit the Frog here. Sometimes I can pull out Kermit the Frog. Do you know Jesse Ventura?
No, I've not seen that. It's like a movie, right?
No,
From
Jesse
Ace-
Ventura?
It's from Ace Ventura? Is that Ace Ventura? Is it...
Jesse Ventura is like a former pro wrestler, former governor of Minnesota as well.
Oh, interesting. No, I don't know that.
Yeah.
But do it for the fans, for sure.
Well, I knew that Chris Kyle was a liar. He said that he knocked me out in a bar. That never happened, so I sued him. I took him to court, and now, after he died, I sued his estate. Everyone said I went after his wife. That's not true. I went after his estate.
I
Genuine
can't judge
quote.
if that's a good one or a bad one, but I'm just going to assume it's perfect because the other two were fucking flawless.
Thank you.
That is hilarious, bro.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, I had one more. What was it? Best and worst Sopranos character.
Great question.
Yes.
The best character. Now, people are gonna come for my head for this. Phil Leotardo. Phil Leotardo is my favorite
Honestly, I'm fine
Sopranos
with it.
character.
He's like top 10 for me. I'm not on the Phil hate train like everybody is, and they just fucking hate everything this guy does.
No. I think he's a man of principle. I think that he's old school. And, you know, for anyone that, dude, that's like being a part of an organization, right? You have rules, you have laws that you follow. And then you got this one motherfucker out in Jersey who's not following any of it. Obviously, I'm going to get mad about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm going to get mad. I'm going to feel disrespected. That's what's going to happen. I'm going to go after you. So Phil Leotardo, number one. And the worst character in The Sopranos. That's a great question as well. I think, man, I mean, they're all good in their own way, if that makes sense. I mean, the typical answer would be like AJ or something. Like I was so annoyed with AJ. But that's just,
AJ's
I feel like
a little bit overhated. But one thing that
I agree.
just fucking bothered me so much is how he talked to his parents.
That was my thing.
Dude, like, how did they even let him get away with that? That never made sense to me.
You're Tony Soprano, boss of a family. You're whacking dudes for much less, and then your kid says like it does all this crazy stuff, and you're not going to do anything about it.
He
I
did
mean,
like give him a nice slap one time. One of the most satisfying scenes, by the way, when he just gives him the fucking slap. I think it was after he got expelled when they were throwing shit in the pool. I think that was after that scene.
yeah, I think that one was good. Um, I think there are a few other ones. Like honestly, okay, I think this is kind of a hot take, but I was never a big fan of Syl.
Dude, I've said this too. Like, I
I've
don't dislike him, but
no
he's like most people, maybe not most people, he's a lot of people's favorite character. Oh, he's the
makes no
funniest
sense.
character. Why though? Like, he's cool
No,
for sure.
no.
He's got a couple scenes, but I don't know. Maybe am I missing something?
I don't think you're missing something. I think you're seeing the fact that like there's really not a lot of substance
Dude,
to fear to him.
1000%.
Yeah,
Exactly.
there's just not a lot of substance to the character. He's he's like your typical mob guy, like he does what he's told, whatever, blah blah blah. He's loyal, but there's really nothing that really sets Syl apart. He's just kind of like your regular average mafia guy. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Very well said. I agree
Thank you.
100%.
Thank
Yes.
you. I
Yeah, so
will say
these. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
no. I will also say a character that I believe is overhated for whatever reason, besides Phil Leotardo, obviously.
Mhm.
Um, I see. I'm not a Richie Aprile apologist. I will not do that. But Janice, his former lover,
Dude, preaching to the choir. Come on, dude.
dude, Janice.
Some good opinions, man. I like this.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Janice is so good. She's such a great character, bro. When she gets into a brawl with the mom at the soccer game,
That's so. Just tell me one. Okay, tell me like the worst things about Janice besides when she was fucking with Bobby's kids in the chat room. What's really bad about her? Dude, she's fucking hilarious. She actually improves and gets better as a person, and Tony tries to tear her
yes,
down for that. I
yes,
mean, what else? Yeah, she beat the shit out of the mom at the soccer game because really for no reason. But still, like she's so loyal. She's loyal to the soil.
yes,
For some
yes,
people, but still,
yeah,
man.
and okay, Livia Soprano too. Sorry, I'm gonna go on a tangent
Oh,
here. You
dude,
can get me
go,
talking about
dude,
the Sopranos forever.
100%.
Livia Soprano, one of my all-time favorites as well. Evil to the core, but Livia Soprano.
I
Yeah.
totally agree, 100%. She's like maybe she's like top 12 for me, dude. She's just funny to
Yes.
me.
Yes.
Watching scenes when she's
Oh,
just like miserable, but that's
yes.
just entertaining to me.
I wish the Lord would take
Take
me
me
now.
now,
Like,
just
oh, dude, it's
stab me here. Dude, I
yes.
could go off on quotes the whole time.
Yeah, same, bro.
100 we're
Same.
gonna do a Sopranos video, 100%. That is in the cards,
Please.
1000%.
Please.
So I have three questions. So a good buddy of mine is born and raised in Moorhead, Minnesota. So I
Okay.
reached out to him. I was like, dude, like this guy, I'm interviewing him. He's from Minnesota as well. Give me like a couple Minnesotan, if you know questions, okay? So let's see. Number one, what is the game called where everybody sits in a circle and one person will tap the heads of somebody and then you'll
Yeah.
pick on somebody and you'll chase them around? What is that called?
Duck, duck, gray duck.
Dude, what the? I've never heard of that. He told me that's what it was called. I mean, I think in 49 other states you call it duck, duck, goose,
Yeah,
right?
but duck,
Yeah.
duck, gray duck is way better. I know. I
That
understand
I
that. Like,
never even knew that was a thing. When he told me that, I thought he was joking.
no, duck, duck, gray duck, baby. Yeah.
Dude, that's hilarious. Let's see. So I'm not going to be able to confirm or deny if this is the right answer, but so top three lakes in Minnesota. He said that like these three should be on most people's top three. So what would be the top
Yes.
three lakes in Minnesota?
What would be the top three lakes in Minnesota?
Yeah, I don't know if you're like a lake guy. I don't know if you spend time on boats and
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, I mean, like, I feel like Lake Superior is kind of a basic answer, but I mean, like, it's one of the Great Lakes. Lake Minnetonka and Lake Elmo. I don't know. What did he have?
he didn't really tell me for that. I got the
Okay,
answer to the other two, but I forgot to get the answers for those.
no, it's
So
all good.
last one. What restaurant chain is a Minnesota Lakes staple?
Minnesota Lakes staple. Does he have an answer for this one?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Fuck. Minnesota Lakes staple. See, like half the time, like I'm like, oh, yeah, I didn't know that these things were like only in Minnesota until I moved away.
Hmm. I believe this is a chain, by the way.
This is a
I
chain.
believe this is a chain. I think there's a few of them. I think there may be one near Lake Detroit as well. I think.
Lake Detroit. Okay. Is it like Culver's or something? I don't
No.
know. What is it?
Zorba's.
Zorba's?
Yeah. You know what that
I've
is?
never heard of that.
Never heard of Zorba's?
I've never heard of Zorba's.
Really?
Dude, I feel like such a fraud right now. What the fuck? There's a
I guess
place
that's
called
like
Zorba's.
a restaurant that's a staple on like a lot of the lakes around there. I guess I'm not sure.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Let's
I
see.
mean, I wasn't living that lake life. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Like I was a land dweller. But one place, if you ever visit uh Minnesota and you're in like the Twin Cities, one place, do you like Mediterranean food?
Yes.
You big
100%.
Mediterranean guy?
It's
Yeah,
like
like
top
Greek
three
food.
cuisines.
Right. That's what I'm
Mhm.
saying, dude. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
What's number one?
Um,
Hold on. What's number one?
number one
This
for
should be easy answer.
Mediterranean.
No.
Oh,
Number one cuisines.
oh, I mean, it's got to be like it's a dog fight between Italian and Mexican, but I'm going to go
Dude,
Italian personally. Yeah,
100%. 1,000.
it's a dog fight, you know, because
Yes.
I've never been to an Italian restaurant and been like, that was bad.
Okay. Yeah, honestly, never. Like I grew up
Never.
going to one like 3 minutes away from my house. I took my first steps there. I think I had my first birthday there. I've been going there forever. Like that's just a staple. So, dude, top three, you have that 100% correct. But go ahead.
Right.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, you're good. No, but if you ever are there, great Mediterranean place, spicy feta. Spicy feta. It's run by my boy, former MMA fighter, Yama Sado. I don't know how to pronounce his last name actually. He's Lebanese. But Sadozai. I'm thinking that's what it is. Anyway, love the guy. But yeah, spicy feta is like legit. And this isn't even me just being like a friend and plugging him or anything like that. I'm saying like this is actually like legit some of the best food I've ever had. So yeah.
Good to know. And
Yeah.
to be fair, my friend, my Minnesota guy, he does have a lake house, so probably there may be a little bit of a bias there, maybe a difference in lifestyle between the two of you. So maybe that's why.
Perhaps. Yeah.
But those are all the questions I have. It's been an absolute blast. You're a cool ass dude, 100%. We will be doing more collabs, absolutely.
Please.
Congratulations to you and your career. Congratulations to your wedding in 11 days. I know it's going to be a blast. Where can everybody find you on social media?
Yeah. You know, you can find me at Jackson McVey MMA on Instagram. You can just type in Jackson McVey on Facebook, send me a friend request, you know, and then Twitter. I think it's like Jackson McVey 1 or something like that. Jackson McVey MMA 1. I don't really go on X or Twitter or whatever you call it. I don't really go on there. I need to start doing it more, but yeah, main place you can find me is liking reels on Instagram.
Perfect. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, that's funny. I see you liking so many videos. Like, dude, I'm dead serious. I'll be scrolling because, dude, I'm a real scroller. That's just what, that's what Gen Z is nowadays.
Yeah, bro.
An hour to kill. Bro, every single time, like, I see you liking a stand-up comedy video. I see you liking, like, I don't know, funny fails video. Like,
Right.
dude, I saw you like this one video. It was like wives, like, fucking up when their husband is trying to do something.
Yes.
Like, yes. I see you liking dog videos. Dude, I see you in the reels for sure.
I'm a man of many tastes. You know, the stand-up videos, obviously. Well, maybe not obviously. My brother is a stand-up comedian, Elliot McVey. He has a podcast called the Goat Mentality Podcast. And he has like a really good buddy of his, Aiden McCluskey, too. I mean, that he's my brother, so I'm gonna find it funny. But it's funny shit. You guys should check it out. They've got a really good Instagram page, Goat Mentality Clips, and you can just see all the crazy and weird shit they get into. Dude, like some of the stuff, especially his buddy Aiden, who grew up in like rural Wisconsin, just the shit that went on in high school there, insane. So yeah. Plug in that page.
I'm a huge stand-up fan, so I had no idea that your brother was one. I'm 1,000% checking this guy out.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, he would love that. And yeah, he's funny shit, man. Good dude. He's
question. Favorite comedian besides your brother?
Fady,
or just a few. Just shout out some that you like.
Okay, yeah. If we're doing that, I mean, you got to go like Norm Macdonald, obviously. Like, shout out to the GOAT, R.I.P. I really like Gary Goldman. If you ever heard of Gary Goldman, have you heard of Gary Goldman?
The Ohio guy, or am I thinking of someone else?
I think he's from Boston. Big Jewish dude. Big, tall Jewish guy.
I've seen that guy. I'm not sure off the top of my head.
Very funny, very witty humor. I really, really enjoy watching his stand up shows. And Dan Soder, dude. Shout out to Dan Soder. I mean, obviously, you got your like, everyone loves him, like Shane Gillis and stuff like that. But I'm not gonna put him on my list. Funny guy, but he's not going on my list. Yeah, exactly. Gary Goldman. Yeah, you should check him out. Gulman. Gary Goldman. You should check him out.
We'll do. Well, like I said, thank you so much for joining me. I'm not gonna
Of
hold you
course,
up because I
brother.
know you got some things, some obligations to go. So follow me on Instagram and TikTok at VinceMMA1 and VinceMedia1. Follow him at Jackson McVey on most social medias.
Yes,
And
sir.
thank you so much for joining us, man. Appreciate that.
Of course. Thank you.
Of course, anytime,
All
dude.
right.